Hello, Paul. Hello, can you hear me, Paul?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. I guess you were watching the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So actually, let's wait for.
Phil.
Let's wait for Phil. Okay.
Okay, no worries.
You can keep watching the lecture.
So, hello.
Hi, Florian.
Hello, Paul. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Fine, prepared for the Q&A session?
Yes, we are.
Very good.
Had a good repetition this morning, so.
Looking forward to some great questions and informative session then and interaction with the audience.
Yeah.
So, okay, who is about to join? I think Phil it is.
Can you maybe send me the link to the question page?
Yeah, I will send it right now.
Okay. Send it to the chat. Yeah.
Yes, it's in the chat. Right now, it's in the chat.
Okay, thanks.
Can you just let me know when you're there, when you because I want to send the test question. Okay. Okay.
Hi, good evening, good afternoon, or
Hi, Jana.
whoever you prefer.
Hello, Phil.
How are you doing, Phil?
Okay,
Hello, Phil.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Hey, Paul.
What's happening?
Yeah, it's all going well. I just went and had a bit of a rest to help recover from this AstraZeneca vaccine. I feel better now.
Good.
I still haven't had my vaccine, and hearing the feedback, I'm
Yeah. I mean, I think this AstraZeneca one is kind of, from what I understand, gives you probably the worst, feeling afterwards. But it's not too bad. I'm just a bit tired. That's all. Yeah.
Hi, Sebastian. Welcome back.
Hi, Sebastian.
Players. Florian. Yeah, now
Yes.
I can read it. Hi. Jana, I just learned that you are sitting in. Where do you sit in?
In Bulgaria?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
I actually escaped the big city and came to the mountains for this Congress.
Okay.
Summit. I still call it Congress every time. It's a summit. And I think that was a good decision.
Jana, who's chairing the session? Who's the moderator?
It's going to be Phil.
Phil? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Phil, nice to meet you. My name is Ron. I'm the technician. Okay, so we have two voting questions for this. So, 1 second, let me try to activate it.
Ron, in the previous session, we did a small correction in one of the answers, so we should check.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Okay.
Is the Slido still the same link, or do we have to go in a new link?
For the questions from the audience, I'm going to post it now in the chat.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, and for the voting, just we have two questions. This is the first one.
Oh, yep, yeah. We just need to change the first answer. I'll write the wording for the first answer in the chat.
And this is the second.
Yeah, that's right.
Second one is fine, and for the first one, we just need to change the wording for the first answer. So instead of an important transition fuel up until at least 2030, Phil will now send you the correct wording.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, there we go.
Okay. This is for the first answer, correct?
Yes,
Correct.
exactly.
Okay, I will fix it.
I will just go stop my heating because it's getting warm here.
Okay. Okay, done.
Great, thank you.
So you will let me know when to activate the first question and when to activate the second. Okay.
Yeah, no problem. It'll probably be somewhere in the middle, and then we'll do both questions directly after each other. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. And we will go live exactly at 5:21.
Okay.
So we have some time.
Okay, no problem.
So, Paul, we are blocking you from doing real work, or?
Yeah.
So is the entire Duxon operation collapsing, or what is the feedback you are receiving?
I'm not working for Duxon anymore. Huh? You're familiar with that?
I heard that you're having a different position. So this is no longer Duxon, okay?
Yeah, it is Duxon, but the holding company I'm working for.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I got that, but
yeah, I'm doing a lot of research right now.
Okay.
In making the Rederij activities from Koninklijke Duxen a bit greener.
Great.
Yeah.
Regarding the live Q&A, if you feel that there are not enough questions or you feel that you're not able to fill in the time, don't worry, you can just wrap up the session a bit early. Because usually in the evening there's not so much attendance as in the morning, so it might be slower, just to let you know in advance. And also, if you want, I can pull up some of the questions from this morning if you think that you didn't manage to answer any.
Try to think what makes sense. Yeah, I guess we're still not really clear how we're going to answer these in general. To get back to these people.
We'll find a way.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we have kind of plenty of let's say dummy questions ready to go, and I mean, I think we've probably can think of maybe some of the questions we didn't answer this morning. I think we'll be okay. Yeah.
I see there were a couple of comments from the audience thanking you for the interesting presentation.
Okay.
And also, the first question I see is no mention of generators on board. They run on diesel.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we did address. I think we answered that question. Did we?
Yes, you did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Paul commented with a pure gas system, so to say, including the gensets.
Paul, I mean, as if we do need to go to any dummy questions, I still, if it's okay with you, like to maybe address the question about the cost of biogas or cost of biomethane. Are you comfortable with answering that? Or?
Yep.
Yeah.
I will add some in the chat here so you can.
Okay, thanks.
From this morning. I don't know if you have answered them or not, but.
Yeah, that one we did. The next questions we didn't answer. That's interesting.
But you guys cannot yet see this Slido, or because I opened the link that you were just putting in the chat.
Yes.
Okay, do we already see questions in there in the Q&A? No. Okay. So. Yeah.
It's normal if you don't see any questions.
Okay. Yeah. Not yet. They're coming.
Not yet.
Session is about to start in 2 minutes.
Okay.
So you can use one of the questions that I'm sending, and you can say that they were addressed in the morning, but there was no time to answer them in case there are no questions.
Yeah, maybe the first one we answered, the second one we didn't answer. That could be an interesting one about the fuel cost. Yeah, I guess, Paul, is that something you can give an answer on regarding, because it's not, you don't really have a firm basis of comparison to, your other ferries on diesel are different ferries, of course, and so it's kind of, yeah. But,
I can tell something about the historical costing of LNG compared to diesel.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess probably obviously just the key message is to say that there is some cost reduction, but and I guess that's
But Paul, roughly, at which ratio are you at the moment? The gas versus the diesel.
The gas price follows the seasonal effect throughout the year. So winter time, when there's a lot of demand for gas for heating,
Okay.
Rise. That's a typical behavior of the gas price, which you don't have with gasoline or gas oil. But historically, average, I think the gas price is approximately 20% lower compared to diesel or gas oil.
Mm-hmm.
Phil, any chance that you can close the jalousine a bit more, because the sunlight is in your face?
That's a good comment.
Points. Looks like you have like a dot on your on your skin.
Florian,
I see what you mean. Is that? Oh no, still. Where's it coming from? Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's kind of some little holes in the.
Yeah. Okay.
So no chance. Okay, let's hope that the cloud will come over.
Yeah. Get up on the window and stick something up there.
Paul, I was ordering over lunchtime a nice Duxon picture for my background, but did not get it yet. So, Florian, I thought you guys are as fast as Amazon.
We try our best, Sebastian. One question, Sebastian. Today in the morning in the session, this picture has also been there, or?
Yes.
Okay, good. Then it's fine. Yeah.
You were wondering whether Anne asked him to remove it, or?
No. I was just checking because on the left side, I was wondering what this part is here, as well. Like, okay, but that's okay.
Now we were, to be honest, during the briefing, somehow the what do you call it? The Weitwinkel. The angle of the camera was less, because I remember we were talking about it's too much a bit the whiteboard and the shelf and the stuff, but Anne was accepting it, so that's.
Phil is still fighting the light.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think what to do. I've got no other ideas except for climbing up on the shelf and sticking something up there.
Oh, then it's.
It sounds risky.
Yeah.
We don't want to lose you right before the start of the session.
I might go and grab a coffee. Is that okay? Do we have time? Yeah.
We have 33 minutes before we go live. So
no worries.
There is time for coffee. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, we just got a comment, not a question. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Phil and Paul.
It's maybe a colleague of yours, or?
Yeah, no, he works at a distributor down in Saudi Arabia. Actually, I know him. All right, I'll be back in a minute.
Sure.
Mundschutz on.
Paul, just internally, do you have a rough order of magnitude of how much more expensive, let's say, just the propulsion system with the gas was compared to if you would have chosen, let's say, an IMO 3 setup, diesel?
Yeah, I don't have exact figures, of course, but in general, you can say that an LNG-powered ferry nowadays is roughly about 5% more expensive than conventional diesel vessel.
Okay, but that is sounds not too severe. But this is you said for the entire ship.
Yeah.
I think I also need a coffee. Phil, I was thinking about you earlier in the video of the engine, the sound of the engine, because I went outside from my room and I came back and I heard my computer making the same sound
Okay.
as the engine.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a good sign, though.
I had some ideas with this video. I wanted to somehow put some, I don't know if we had the time or the budget or whatever to put some graphics on it to sort of like with a, like a speed gauge or something to sort of, show this engine speed increasing rather than just having to listen only to the sound. But yeah, I don't know.
But you can really hear it how it's accelerating.
Yeah, no, it's good.
It's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, just for your background, I mean, that's kind of typically one of the, when you compare a diesel engine with a gas engine, the gas engines typically don't accelerate. They're not good at taking load like a diesel engine does. And that's kind of what the thing is about our engine. That's why I was kind of trying to sort of demonstrate that point. It really, it's the selling point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in that terms, that means that the diesel engine is better than the...
Normally for let's say acceleration, normally diesel engine is better. But that's kind of, let's say, one of the let's say the negative or criticisms of a gas engine, let's say, is that it cannot accelerate that. Gas engines have other benefits, for emissions, and cost of the gas is cheaper than diesel typically, and these kinds of things. But let's say the negative side is they typically can't accelerate like a diesel engine does. Except for ours. Ours is wonderful.
I'm sure. Oh, and you have an MTU cup.
Sorry, what was that?
I saw the logo on your coffee cup.
Oh, sorry.
With the MTU logo. Is this for every employee or?
No, this is a limited edition. I came across this I don't know, 15 years ago from somewhere. Actually, Sebastian, you're on mute.
Yeah. I think he's jealous.
I said only for premium employees. But I've got a much better. Can you read this one?
Keep calm. You have to put it a bit up. Keep calm and drink coffee. Yeah.
Okay.
Huh? That's why I'm on mute.
I think I got this from the Navy team, Sebastian. I remember bringing it back from a business trip in Friedrichshafen, I don't know, 15 years ago or something. And it still hasn't been broken after all these years or stolen.
Yeah. Watch out, yeah.
Still no questions.
Florian, can you check how many people are watching the session? Please.
I was on a complete different screen. 1 second.
No worries.
So this is the first high-speed direct gas fuel session. 52 tells the system right now.
Much less than in the morning.
Yes, we've seen a decrease in the numbers of participants in the afternoon than in the morning.
But it's also a larger region or area in the morning.
Yes, in the morning.
EMEA and Asia. Yeah.
Exactly. And I've seen that a lot of the people in Asia have been pretty active.
Yeah, they are paid for,
You should have paid somebody in the United States.
In the US, yes.
But maybe they ask for more money. They're not selling themselves so easily.
Maybe we might need to bring out some of these dummy questions this time, perhaps. Any preferences, Sebastian, from questions we want to ask ourselves? We'll ask Paul.
So the questions you have, or which are in here, they are from the morning, right?
Yeah.
In our private chat.
Yes, I have more for you if you want. But I'm not sure which ones were already answered. Have you answered how many seconds for the engine to accelerate from idle to full?
Yeah, we did that in the morning.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So which ones are the one left you didn't answer in the morning? And so maybe we can select now 3 of them.
Pick the easiest ones.
But the ones that you can talk for the most.
Yeah. This one. I mean, I think it's an interesting question maybe to ask a little bit, like we already had the question in this morning, but maybe we can just do it again, is about asking about the gas bunkering process, how often and the vessel needs to be filled with gas and how long that takes. That might be an interesting question, do you think? Or
talk to me, Phil, sorry?
Yeah, well, both of you. Well, just looks like we're going to have to use some of our dummy questions from or questions from this morning. But one of the questions which I thought was interesting was just to talk a little bit more about the bunkering process. Maybe I could just ask you a question. This kind of the same question from this morning. How often do you need to refuel, and how long does it take? Or maybe that could be interesting. Yeah.
I think it's good to have one also linked to the ferries, to the real objects you have presented.
Yeah.
I think what could be also interesting, the question about the gensets or let's say the hotel load, because I think it's really also important to share this. Yeah. And I could, Paul, if you would just state the same what we said in the morning with these small pure gas gensets, and I could add, what we are doing on the Lake Constance ferry, that there is no gensets, they only have shaft generators.
Okay.
Because I think this is for any gas vessel project a challenge.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you type in the question, please, in the chat for that, so that we can place that, or Jana as Miss Anonymous will place that.
What do you think? What shall I say, Sebastian? What type of gensets?
Or how do you cope with the onboard power supply?
How do you generate? So how do you generate onboard power? Is this also via gas engines or diesel? Perhaps.
Do they run the Lake Constant ferry? Will they run the engines on a constant RPM?
No, but they have a Voigt Schneider controllable pitch propeller.
Okay.
But it's a really challenging propulsion system overall, because it's a double-ended ferry, and the intention is, because it's most efficient if you load the propellers uneven, the fore and aft propeller. So the idea is to have the fore propeller during sailing providing, in addition, the hotel load, and the aft one only propulsion power.
Okay, will that be according a combinator curve or so?
Yes.
Yeah.
But again, it's not sailing yet. It's not commissioned.
Permanent magnet generators, probably.
I don't know, to be honest. I don't know, because this is a shipyard scope. Yeah.
There's actually a real question coming in. It has the same power and reaction as a diesel engine, is the question.
Yeah, this is basically the same meaning as one question from the morning, but I think it's interesting to keep this also.
Another one just came in. Phil, did I show you that you have the two options, popular and recent, in the morning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Since when is MTU producing diesel engines with an RPM of 3,600 RPM?
You don't know yet, Paul. You don't know all our latest inventions.
There's high speed, and then there's high speed. Ultra high speed.
That's probably the turbo engine.
These are our turbines. gas turbines.
I'm right back.
Good question.
All my questions are good so far. I haven't asked a stupid question. At least not by writing.
Can you see how many people are following this webinar right now?
If Florian just
right now we have 60 people in the session.
Okay. Is it the big market, the US market for commercial engines?
Yeah. I guess it's probably just getting more and more challenging for us from a commercial perspective because of the EPA 4 emission certification process. So we, this is an issue with the gas engine for us, of course. We don't have the certification yet. But yeah, I mean, it's a very Caterpillar dominated.
I mean, in general, for diesel engines as well.
Yeah, very Caterpillar and Cummins dominated market typically. But yeah, it's quite big, quite big. Okay. Of course, I mean, with the Jones Act, I mean, it's it's all kind of a local market, local built ships with locally, for local customers. But it's quite big. Yeah. We're also covering, I guess, Latin America, South America with this webinar as well in this session here as well. So yeah, it's not just the US.
But can you also see whether you can't probably whether these are US people visiting now, or is it mostly European?
Phil, or should I? In the afternoon.
Can you tell who's logged in, Florian? I mean, do you have details of who they are, or just the total number?
I see a total number, and when taking a look, let me check. I see, 1 second, I see system running. Argentina, United States, Mexico, even United Kingdom, Chile, Panama, Saudi Arabia, Argentina again, Canada, India, Mexico, Netherlands, from our colleague. So quite international, but yeah, more American continent, Peru, another Argentinian, Ecuador. Oh, Brazil, I see.
Are you working with South America?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing.
Yep.
Do they have a big market there in regards to, in terms of marine industry?
Let's say, in Brazil, especially, with the oil exploration with the state-owned company Petrobras, that was, but this is a few years back where the high peak was. But there is obviously also a bit of ship handling. Ferries, Mexico, Phil, we have, what is it, Ultramar?
Yep, Ultramar, yep. Yep.
Interesting. Thank you.
I learned via Interferry that the managing director has died, has passed away.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's his name. His name was I've forgotten his name. Yeah, it was a bit a shame.
I don't have them present to must admit.
Yeah.
So how many gas engines have you sold since this morning? Where's the counter?
The phone's been running hot.
You were sleeping, you told me.
No, but Paul, it looks like, the experience you made with that shipyard challenging you. It's the same now with the Lake Constance ferry, the shipyard Pelasitas, north of Germany. So they are with their end customer in a huge fight, so to say. So the building program is for the moment stopped. Yeah.
Oh shit.
So we have in Singapore these SemCorp tugs, which should be commissioned second half of the year. But there we are also a bit scared, to be honest, because they have chosen a hybrid system, and they did what you were recommending in the morning, or not in the morning, but in your of course in the morning in your recording session with Phil, to really not choose too many small companies and hoping that when they put the puzzle together it fits.
Yeah.
So this is where we are already afraid a bit that they have not realized the complexity of that hybrid system. Yeah. Okay. So that commissioning will also be a challenge for them.
Will that be, is that based on 16V engines as well?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Similar to ours.
Yeah. Of course, with a hybrid system you have more options, but you also have more challenges, So if you do it good, it's perfect. You can support your gas engine, let's say, weak areas. But if you do it bad, you can even amplify the challenges.
Sebastian, do you want me to put the question in there as a dummy question regarding whether we have plans to develop this as a genset engine? Is it something
you can do so? Yeah, if there is nothing. Yeah.
All right. What should I say?
No, because this fits really well.
Yeah.
5 questions so far in the system.
Yeah, maybe we'll add another one. Planning to release this engine as a genset.
It's now playing the video of the engine.
Okay.
The test bench, that looks pretty nice, impressive here. Yeah. I really like this.
Yeah, I also thought, Florian. Yeah, I said the same to Phil. Yeah.
Sounds actually quite good.
We Paul, just for your info, we had an internal we did like an internal training session for the gas engine, like a sales training for all our distributors. We did this last week. I think we had like 100 of our sort of distributors and sort of global sales organization. And I did a presentation. I wanted to show that video, and I was trying to do it via Skype, and I played the video within the presentation, but the sound didn't come through the whole way. So I had to do like fake noise. I went.
No, but Paul, to be honest, I don't know. Have you seen the TAC hybrid presentation by chance?
No, I haven't.
Yeah. No, this with Fairplay Towage, and they were also visiting our test bench at the time, and it was a bit the same situation because obviously we're not allowed to go into the test bench room, but from outside he was looking on all the screens and he was really asking. Of course, with the installation, it's even you hear hardly anything, but he didn't believe that because you couldn't see anything moving, any cable or hose line. And we could just as well had all the screens, all the speed indicators animated, and having the engine stand still. So it was really hard to convince him.
I remember one of the first visits of the gas engine on the testbed was near the airport.
Yeah. That's right.
Then they showed us actually 1800 RPMs and 2000 kW, just in a spin up.
Mm-hmm.
And we, same story, Sebastian. We were astonished, Ingmar and myself, because we looked at the engine and there were a lot of thin wires attached for the measurements. You could not see a single wire moving at that load. Incredible.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we heard a buzzing sound, and it was very well insulated. So we had the same experience. Guessing, is the engine running or is it just pre-recorded sound?
Yeah. Yeah. It is so smooth. I mean, that's why I really like watching that video. Like I say, it's kind of there's nothing shaking, and it's so and just sort of like I say, just be nice. I think just to finish that off for marketing purposes, to have some kind of a dashboard which shows RPM and kilowatts or something, like to sort of just as a visual to sort of see that.
Basically, this is also a good feature of gas engines because you have less surrounding sound coming from the engine room and no rumble going into the structure of the vessel. So it's much quieter. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But Phil, we should take a look at the acoustic diagrams and explore this a bit more. Because to be honest, because I haven't done that, so I think it's really a point to underline let's say the look and feel impression with the measured facts.
Yeah, it'd be interesting too. Both structurable noise and airborne.
Yeah, I take this as a note, as a just side note.
Ron, how much time do we have until we go live?
4 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay. Thank you.
Phil, the question here, what pressure should the gas have? So this is these 5 to 10 bars, or depending on the power.
Yeah, for that Paul's particular engine, it could be, well, I say with the current rating of the engine, it's actually 6.5 bar is the current number. Yeah. Before the GRU.
And feel free to also, like you did, answer the one or the other question right away.
No problem. Yeah, I mean that the question came up this morning. We maybe don't have to go to, but what do we need? Basically, the question was, do we need a cryogenic pump for the gas pressure?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so I'm not sure if you want to answer that in the same way, Sebastian, to say or not, or just say the pressure. But yeah, typically to get 6.5 bar, it's kind of challenging without having a cryogenic pump, I suppose. But
apart from that, you have the risk of sloshing into the tank and sudden pressure drops in the tank.
Yeah,
weather, especially with the high pressure demand for these engines.
Yeah,
it's not a good idea to go without cryogenic pumps.
Yeah. I mean, you could also maybe just, I guess, get into a bit more depth of that, Sebastian. Obviously saying we need the high pressure because of where we're injecting the gas in the engine, like it's different than a typical whatever, dual fuel
manifold injection.
Yeah. We're kind of injecting sort of after the boost, you know what I mean? Yeah.
And also if you want to have the response.
Yeah.
I would have expected a question about whether this is approved by class, a single fuel LNG system. Nobody asked.
You mean in terms of redundancy or propulsion redundancy? Yeah. Paul, the issue with the pump, cryogenic pump, if you want, you could add this to that pressure question. So because to be honest, I'm not so deep in that tank system engineering. Yeah. So we can split that up. So it's I think it's anyway fresh to have a bit of dialogue. So
yeah.
Especially if it's not that many questions.
Yeah.
It looks like the popular is not needed though.
Sorry to disturb. We have 1 minute and 30 seconds before we go live.
Okay. So would the procedure be, will you write in the chat when we're on?
I can write in the chat, yeah. Do you see the chat now?
Yes, we do, yeah.
Okay, so I'll write on the chat and then you can start.
Okay.
Great. So
me and Florian are going off screen.
Good luck, guys.
Bye.
Phil, do you have the popular or the recent selection for the questions?
Popular.
Okay, just that it's for us easier to know that we are on the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
So welcome everyone to the section for the live questions and answers. For this section, we've also like to introduce a new member and guest to help assist with some of the questions. It's Sebastian Schwarz from MTU Friedrichshafen here. Sebastian heads up the application engineering team for commercial marine. Sebastian, maybe a short introduction from yourself.
Yes, thanks, Phil. Also, welcome from my side to all the participants. I'm heading in Friedrichshafen the application engineering team for commercial marine and offshore. And in this function, I'm also happy, of course, to support our customers' gas propulsion projects. And I'm happy now for the next 15 minutes to support also with responding to your questions. Thanks a lot.
Great, thanks. So please feel free to keep the questions coming in. We'll try and get through as many as we can. But if we don't get through all of them, we will definitely address them afterwards. So please, don't hesitate to keep the questions coming in. Just jumping for the first question here, we have a question regarding the power and reaction of the engine in comparison to a diesel engine. I guess that probably was partly addressed in the video and everything, but maybe Sebastian, just a quick comment from your side regarding.
Yeah, I can. Thanks. I can add to that question. Obviously, the main development target was to have a diesel-like performance driving fixed pitch propellers, what was mentioned earlier. And as such, we said, okay, we want to achieve as benchmark our Series 4000 diesel engine behavior. And what we can say that, in general speaking, that we do not meet the best of the 4000 cases, but this gas engine is fully capable, like let's say the average diesel engine, to propel all sorts of direct drive ships or ship propulsion systems. Yeah, so the target is met. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Next question was regarding whether these high-speed engines like the diesel counterparts. I guess that was probably also subsequently addressed. The engines are rated at 1600 RPM. Maybe the next question for yourself, Paul. How often do you need to bunker LNG on the vessel, and how long does that process normally take?
Yeah, we bunker each vessel once a week. That will be done by a tank truck coming from Gate Rotterdam to Harlingen. The whole bunkering procedure for one vessel takes approximately 1 hour, and that is including all the pre-checks and after-checks, the whole procedure going with the LNG bunkering system.
Okay, thanks. Maybe the next question also for you, Paul, if that's okay. How do you generate onboard power? Is this also by gas-fueled gensets, or are they diesel gensets?
No, these are also gas-fueled gensets. We have 2 gensets, Scania. the whole purpose of this vessel was to stick to one fuel on board. There's no diesel fuel whatsoever. Even the boiler is fired with LNG or gas from LNG.
Okay, thanks.
I think that question is really, in fact, a good one, because it's really a challenge sometimes to find a lean burn pure gas genset in the smaller power range. So what I just can add, that we have here another contract for double-ended ferry on the Lake Constance, which is powered by 2 Voigt Schneider controllable pitch propellers. And in that application with 2x 8V4000 gas engines, the shipyard has selected shaft generators to provide the onboard power. So that's also another option, which is quite attractive. But obviously, it requires sort of controllable pitch propellers to be more flexible in sharing the load on the gensets and the propulsor.
Yeah, okay. She maybe, while we're on the subject of gensets, another question is MTU planning to also release this engine as a genset engine, I guess, probably for gas electric propulsion concepts or even onboard power. But yeah, Sebastian, maybe could you comment on that?
Yeah, for the time being, the 2 engines that we have available, an 8V and a 16V, they are just variable speed propulsion engines. However, it's really interesting to emphasize that we have, for each of them, we have a contract where they are utilized to work as a variable speed genset, which is also, let's say, done with diesel engines from time to time and has quite some benefits. So that's one part of the answer. And the second one is, obviously, we see a certain interest and demand in the market for constant speed genset engines, 50 hertz and 60 hertz, especially for the North American market. But to be honest, so now we are in the, let's say, in the first phase, and depending on the market demand and the progress, we also, of course, look into making, if the demand is there, also 60 hertz and 50 hertz genset versions.
Okay, thanks. Maybe we might just have a short diversion quickly and put up a couple of polling questions where we'd like to get your input. Perhaps if you could put them on the screen for our audience, please. Okay, the first question's on the screen there now. So you can see the question is, this is a multiple choice question. So if you could just choose the respective answer you think is most appropriate. Considering the IMO's ambitions to reduce carbon emissions, what role will LNG play amongst the future alternative fuel options? Option 1, an important transition fuel in the short to mid-term, but then will become less relevant. Next alternative is that it could be an important fuel beyond 2030, mainly due to the technical and commercial limitations of the other alternative fuel options, such as hydrogen and ammonia and methanol and these kinds of things, and electric power. And the last option is not relevant unless the production availability of biomethane or e-methane can be quickly ramped up in the next few years at a commercially feasible price as a replacement. So please feel free to make your choices. Yeah. So far we've only got six people voted, so please, would be great if you could choose.
Polish your crystal ball.
Yeah.
Make a guess.
Yeah. Okay. So it's interesting. It's still fairly even, but I guess now it's a dead heat. So yeah, I guess, but it looks in any case that it looks like the audience believes there will be definitely a relevance for LNG, both in the short to medium term, but also beyond. So it's interesting feedback. Okay, so maybe we'll jump to the next question if we could, please. Okay, so apart from LNG tankers, which marine application do you believe is best suited for single fuel gas engines? Again, multiple choice question. First is coastal shipping, second ferries, third inland waterway cargo vessels or harbour tugs, or other, as in none of the above? So please put your votes in. Too many opinions on this one so far? No? Okay. Well, one vote for inland waterway cargo vessels. Okay. Oh, another one for ferries. Oh, hang on, here they come. Yeah, okay. So interesting. A bit of a mix there. Ferries and inland waterway cargo vessels in the lead. Oh, ferries. Okay. Interesting. All right, perhaps we'll move on to there. So perhaps we'll go back to the questions if we could. Yeah, so next question. What have we got here? Regarding the supply pressure of the gas to the engines, perhaps Sebastian, if you could comment on that, regarding what is the recommended gas supply pressure.
So as it was presented by Phil earlier, so we have chosen this multi-point injection system where the gas is injected really per each individual cylinder right before the cylinder head, and for that reason we have a requirement for 6 to 5 bars up to 10 bars, depending on also the agility and the load variation in the specific case.
Yeah.
So that's the number to keep in mind.
Yeah. Perhaps Paul, maybe you could have a quick short comment regarding on what you're doing in your vessels to sort of, let's say, maintain the gas pressure at the inlet.
Yeah, since these vessels are single fuel LNG ferries, and it is a catamaran, we have two independent systems, one in each hull, LNG systems, and we use cryogenic pumps simply because these engines, as Sebastian told us, just need quite a big pressure before the engine compared to other gas engine. And for that reason, it is very important to maintain a constant pressure. And if you don't use a pump, you might end up in a sloshing effect in the tank, which creates a sudden pressure drop, and that can definitely affect the performance of the engine. And we can also cross-link each engine by cross-linking the LNG systems. So feeding one cryogenic pump can feed two engines and the other way around.
Okay. All right. Maybe another question, which is, I guess, quite important for our US participants today. Maybe a question for you, Sebastian. When do you expect to have EPA Tier 4 certification for the gas engines?
This, very valid and good question. As you might know now from also the presentation, for the moment we have the IMO Tier 3 certification, which is relevant worldwide, and the engine is technically meeting also the EU Stage 5 emission regulation. Now, to be honest, it's a bit of pity that the EU Stage 5 and the EPA Tier 4, although they are more or less on the same level in terms of NOx and particulate matters or particulate numbers in case of EU5, they are quite a bit different from each other. And this is creating linked to the, let's say, moderate demand from the markets. It's really creating a challenge to step into this really expensive certification process. So this is a bit like the answer or the comment on the genset versions. This is really a matter of the market demand.
Yeah. Okay. Unfortunately, we're running short on time. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get through the rest of the questions, but please, we'll try and definitely answer the questions in some way and get back to you. But please feel free in the meantime to also come and speak with us on the exhibition hall. We'll be there after the session and for the rest of the afternoon. So if we haven't addressed your question now, we can also do it in that format. But thanks everyone for your participation today. Thanks to you, Paul and Sebastian, for your time as well. And yeah, we wish everyone a good afternoon. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks too.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.